Dealing with cracks in an MEC clay cookware, or maybe some other clay if they're the same, please see fine print. Brief introduction. Situation report. Oh no! Our clay pot or pan has broken. Not because somebody dropped it, because it either has a hairline or a dry crack. Can we repair it, or at least get a little bit more life out of it? We're going to find out in this video. And as a foremention, I know I say I use an electric stove, but in this video I have gas. It was at my mom's house. I love going over there to use her stove because gas and clay work so well together. First, some info. So, ours cracked after nearly 2 years of heavy use on an electric stove with some bad habits. Pans dehydrate faster than pots because they have more opening. We were also probably using higher heat. Learning how to use this, it takes a little while. It was also some dry cooking. My bad habit was that I wasn't keeping food or water in it after it was done and cooling down, because in the initial part you don't want that. You want to make sure it dries out so it doesn't mold. I didn't pick up the transition, or I just had a bad habit. I don't know. But it's unlikely and improbable that it will happen to you as soon as it did for me, especially if you're lucky enough to have a gas stove, because it greatly increases the lifespan of the clay. More on that later. Even with ours cracking, I still think it was worth having. If I couldn't even use it anymore, I'd still be glad. You've never tasted greens cooked like a clay pan can cook them. They are delicious, and they're still green when they come out. It's amazing. My wife is a skeptic. That's what sold her on it. It's great for other things too. I should mention also, I have 2 other MEC products, a medium and an extra large pot. They have not had any problems. My oatmeal pot, the medium one, has had hairline cracks for over a year, and it's fine. All right. Just also for your information, how to keep your clay healthy and happy. Control the heat. Find out where the right point is on your stove to cook as fast as possible, but not overdo it. With electric, it's really tricky. It's inconsistent, and it's direct heat. It's messy. Gas, it's going to be a lot easier for you to figure out. Don't forget to apply oil to the bottom or the base of whatever clay vessel you're using at set intervals, so it stays, it needs it to not crack. After you're done cooking, leave the food or some liquid in there as it comes to temperature. Don't shock it, but it keeps the moisture built up so it doesn't crack. Fourthly, use a gas stove. You can read my little blurb there. I'll wait. Okay. And those who care about the details of what makes clay really amazing that doesn't really get talked about is the far infrared heat that it produces instead of the near infrared from metals, and also isolating it more from EMF coming off of electric stove, my apologies. Think about that for yourself, comment. I can talk more about that, but this video is not about that. And my own opinion, if you're scratching your head and kind of concerned about this, and you're not too patient to learn things, and you're using an electric stove, and you want to make a decision that's not going to lead you here, use pots, get the simmer mat, and get the smallest clay vessel you need to cook what you're cooking. The smaller it is, the less stress on the bottom surface it is from an electric stove. If you got gas, don't worry, you're golden. All right, let's see what's going on. Why paste though? The food oils and the gluten that are in the paste make binding and glue to fill the cracks. It's recommended after you do this once, 1 to 3 weeks after it settles and it's been used a few times, do it again. Did I do that? No, my crack didn't take to the paste so much because it was so bad. But I probably should, right? I'm just letting you know what the rules are. This is what I used. You can contact Miriam's Earth and Cookware, and they have all kinds of options, so you don't have to buy anything. But you can see how I did it. Okay, and yeah, about that copper wire. It was a double measure, and I'm glad I did it in my case because the crack was so big, it needed something to squeeze it together. Yeah, and about that, I used the paste to treat the hairlines while I was at it. I was hoping that it would bind as much in the crack as possible. Um, when in the resolution part of the video, I'll share some more about that. The copper, it requires, two people. We had two men, one really handy with some pliers, and a little bit of good luck on our side to get this done on a pan. So, as far as the resolution, this stuff costed me less than $2. Took less than 30 minutes to do, probably. Um, it was kind of a fun social thing. We've gotten further use out of it. It stayed completely repaired for several weeks, and then at some point the copper kind of came loose. I think my wife might have bumped it or something in the sink, and then the whole thing came apart again. I just tightened the copper. The crack didn't seem to come apart as bad as it was before, which is good. So that's some kind of improvement. Clay has the ability to heal itself, but not from a crack this bad. It's just too big. So this stuff has financial value. It also has the flavors that you've built into it and the character and its ability to heat and dissipate faster than when it's new. It gets better with time, so you want to hold on to it. So I hope this helps you do that. A month or two later, after this video was shot, we're still cooking greens mainly in this because we're not wanting to fill up too much water in it. I don't want to push it and get it too leaky. I think that's overly cautious, but we are planning on getting another one because we want multiples. I love this stuff. I hope you saw in the beginning, I'm not an affiliate. Not an affiliate, just a super happy customer. I love this stuff, and it's very difficult to find clay cookware. Yeah, there's some in Mexico, in Western Kenya, from where my wife is from. There's some in Kisumu. If you're in Kenya, check out Kisumu Clayware. That's not the name of the company. You're gonna have to find somebody on the street, but their clay is really good. It's just kind of hit or miss, and I'm super glad to have MEC. And if you also are thinking about getting it, or you have it, or your stuff is cracked, and you're watching this, I hope that this knowledge was presented organized enough. I know it was kind of sloppy. We're leaving town tomorrow morning, and I didn't even get to finish shooting, so that's why I did a slideshow. But thank you for watching. I hope this helps you, and keep cooking in clay.